Here you can see that I have a load of okra, and I've already just recently fried okra, and I also fried some more okra, about a bowl size like this, already for me and the children 2 times. And as you can see, I still have this big bag of okra that I harvest today. My daughter, she put those in the bag. I'm gonna take those out right here, and I'm gonna save those for seeds, okay? And this big burgundy one as well for seeds. But yeah, so I gotta get all of this processed. I'm gonna go ahead and start prepping for not blanching. I'm not gonna blanch mine because I gotta get these in the freezer because they're gonna go bad, and they're still growing. So let's get to it. I got my little tray so I can put them in as I go. And you're just going to kind of squeeze them, see if they give a little bit. As long as they're not resisting, then they should be okay. These I want to keep for frying, so I'm just going to cut the tops off and lay these out so they can flash freeze first. And once they flash freeze, then that's when I'll put them in the bag individually. I was debating whether or not, since I know that I want to use these for frying, if I should just go ahead and smash them. But in the meantime, I'm gonna start here. I didn't know my necklaces. I got my glasses. Real Life with Christelle, the Earth and Hollow. So yeah, I'll decide that once I get the tops cut off. I think I'm gonna take a little of the tip. And these scraps are not scraps. Make some okra water. It gets really slimy, but what I do, the way I am able to stomach it, is I'll put a little bit in my glass, about that much, and then I fill my glass up, the remaining part of filtered water, and then I give it a good stir, and that thins it out. But that ensures that I get it in my body. So I got this little container over here. I'm going to be putting my scraps. I have a big watermelon over here to my side, so I don't have a lot of counter space. And to this okra water, you can also feed it to your plants. Okay? Okay. Next phase. So just an example, like these really big ones, I already took the biggest ones and I put them on the side so they can just naturally dry. Sometimes I'll open them up and take the seeds out so it doesn't mold or anything on me. But ones like this that are just really kind of too porous, I'll just add them. See, they're really woody. See that? You can't even really cut that. You see what I'm saying? You can't really cut that. I usually put a hand towel underneath my thing, but I didn't today. So it keeps your thing from sliding. But you see that? I can't even cut. I can't even cut it. So this would end up being compost, or like that water here. You just add that right into that water. Or you can blend it up and add some vegetable glycerin or something. This is really tender. I think I'm gonna add these over here because what I did is I separated them. So these are more small. So these I'm going to leave whole, And the ones that were bigger, I'm going to go ahead and dice these up like how you just saw me do here. And these are going to be frozen, and then those can be added in for stewing and doing different things. But these I'm going to leave whole, that are going to be for when I want fried okra. Okay, so you can see how smooth that cuts, right? So I'm definitely going to add that to the stew side. And I still have this bowl left to prep. Next phase. What I wanted to show you also was the bias angle when you go to cut your okra, so it helps to keep it from being so slimy. So I just kind of cut at an angle, okay? I don't know if you can see that. And that just helps with the slime content, okay? This is for those that have, I didn't get that tip. This is for those that have issues with okra because of the slime, okay? So these are the ones that I'm going to prep for stew. Again, at an angle. And then what you do is once you cut them, you're gonna lay them out on a cookie sheet, and then you're gonna put them in the freezer. I don't have freezer space, fam, so I don't know how I'm gonna do this. My coolers are outside and occupied with preserved food. Or I would take some of my stuff out of the freezer and put it in the cooler temporary. So I'm at the point where I took the ones that I'm going to use for frying, and I didn't put them in the freezer because I don't really see them any reason to stick. So what I did is I went ahead and vacuum sealed these. The other ones are in the freezer, okay? And I went on and added some water into my little slime box here, okay? My little slime box. Good for facials, good for wounds, you know, good for drinking, for the digestive system, all of that stuff. And all of the filling will just go later into the compost. So yeah, and you just do that. Now it's counting down to seal. Boom, okay, and there we go. And then I'm just gonna flip this baby over. I'm gonna put today's date, on there, and then I'm just going to repeat the process for the ones that are in the in the madness of my freezer in a metal bowl, because I do not want them to stick. So the object is to freeze them first, okay? Especially when they're cut. But I didn't lay them out on the cookie sheet. I just kept coming and moving them around here and there and tossing them, you know, so that way I didn't have the space to lay them out flat. Okay, so that's what I did. That's how I got that going on in there. So thank you again. This is the final call. They're all vacuum sealed. They're labeled somewhere on there. They're labeled. Okay. And I am done. I'm gonna put these bad boys in the freezer, and that is it. And I like to thank you for, if you made it this far, for joining me on this other quest within my life and preserving my food. Do make sure you come back here now. All right now, Mother Hubbard.